Today I want to talk about Jung Kook saying "oh no" after something happened and what that was. I want to get into Jung Kook apparently seen with a pregnant woman and what that rumor was, and then I want to get into some shirtless videos of Jung Kook being posted. So hey dumplings, it's Dave. Decide hate it or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. Grab your dumpling, taste splitting mug merch, and let's go. We are starting to see more and more shirtless pictures of Jung Kook, and I don't know what is to come next. Are we going to see Jung Kook completely without a shirt and pants next, him dancing around with no pants, or just overall more completely shirtless moments? I think it's very interesting because he still has a lot left of shirtless moments he can show us, because we still haven't seen him completely shirtless. He has had his shirt open and we've seen abs, but we've never seen like the shoulders and the rest of him being bare. And if there are moments, which I will talk about, the bottom half or the abs are cut off. But regardless of how the abs and the shirtless moments are shown, I don't care. I just think it's interesting that fans are freaking out over this or calling this Jungkook or BTS's slutty era, knowing very well that we still have not actually seen a slutty era, like a real one. Even with the Calvin Klein campaign, he was still seen with a jacket on, even if his abs were showing. So it's still not the same compared to the rawness of what other Calvin Klein models have shown. And funny enough, to me, Jungkook still feels more covered up than what Justin Bieber or Shawn Mendes has shown. And even going by more Korean models, Jennie still feels like she is showing more than Jungkook is. During a recent video that Big Hit dropped, we got to see new photos of Jungkook being shirtless. If you are not aware, Big Hit dropped the behind the scenes sketch video of Jungkook's 3D music video. We got to see a lot of cute moments of Jungkook behind the scenes and just overall what the process for creating this iconic 3D music video entailed. We got to see during the downtime of the music video shooting, Jungkook and Jack Harlow were sitting down playing chess. It's so funny because even while they are doing something so casual and fun, the staff doesn't want Jungkook to ruin his makeup on the hot day, and everyone stands around holding fans to make sure Jungkook doesn't sweat all the makeup off. It was also very cute to see that Jungkook learned how to play chess from being on set and actually thinks it's very fun. If you've never been on set, it's not the same as a job where it's go, go, go. In fact, when you go and do things move fast and things move at a very fast pace. It's hard to catch your breath. However, when things slow down, it slows down to the point where you can literally bring a book and read. So yes, Jungkook had plenty of time to sit there and play chess. The other thing that was fun that the behind the scenes video showed was a moment where Jungkook was wearing his chains, but he took off his clothes and you could see him completely shirtless in the shot. As I mentioned earlier, you'll see that even in this shot, only really his shoulders are exposed. You don't really see everything alongside his abs there. But people were freaking out over this and couldn't handle knowing that Jungkook was shirtless there. In fact, people were asking how they can apply to be the staff that stands there and get to see Jungkook shirtless. And I know these are jokes, but the people who make these jokes or think this are likely going to be the people that Big Hit or Hive could not hire, because they definitely don't want someone who is just going to be on set and freak out all the time. There was also another moment that was absolutely hilarious that happened, and we definitely need to talk about it. There's a scene in the 3D music video where the entire crew on set needed to be wet because they were all supposed to be dancing in the rain. This definitely gave early 2000s boy band vibes, and I can't get enough of that. It absolutely is so beautiful to see. The scene was definitely supposed to be that nostalgic thing, but something that they did in the early 2000s was this use of dancing in the rain. It came from the movie Step Up, and it comes from this idea that the artists are so devoted to their craft that they'll dance in the rain. Also, this idea that during a hot summer day when the fire hydrants break and people do flash mobs on the street. So before Jungkook needed to do this scene, he was just standing around and he asked the staff if this was the scene where he was supposed to be drenched in water. So obviously they do have rain, and so you might be thinking, why do they need to drench themselves in water beforehand? But it's usually light rain that they sprinkle in because of things like cameras and not wanting that to break. And also the magic of Hollywood is that things look good in situations that they normally wouldn't. So they can't just have Jungkook get wet with the fake rain. They have to pre-soak him and ensure that he is soaked in all the right places. So not too much water where his hair will look painted on and flat, and then more water on places like abs, but then maybe less water on his pants, things like this. And then they just lightly spray water after all that, just to give the illusion that Jungkook got wet from the rain. So anyway, they're doing this scene and Jungkook asked if he was his turn. So anyway, they're doing this scene and Jungkook asked if it was his turn to get wet? And the staff responded, yes. Jungkook immediately was like, oh no. And honestly, I would probably react the same way. Even though it's a scene, no one wants to get drenched when they're in their outside clothes. It's just uncomfortable to be soaking wet when you're outside, and then you have to deal with it being a lot colder, and then if the shot is not great, you have to dry yourself off or redo it while you're wet. And it's not exactly the most fun thing, or at least I would imagine it's not. Fortunately, Jungkook pulled it off and did a great job completing the scene and shooting while very wet. He is very professional and he can make anything look fantastic. Overall, I'm so happy that he was able to capture this moment, and I'm sure it was probably a bit of a dream come true as well. A lot of us grew up with the early 2000s and 90s type of music, and we've all dreamt of being in those types of videos. As you grow older, as an artist, you might feel like that type of music video may never happen and never happen for you because it's not trendy to do it. Fortunately, the 90s and early 2000s are back now, and these trends are in now. I'm very excited to see what Jungkook does next and what style and trends he decides to tackle next. There's been a lot of people sort of hurting Jungkook, whether physically or not, we don't entirely know for sure, but it is happening, and there's a lot of situations that would have you questioning whether or not Jungkook is endangered or not. Recently, it was believed that Jungkook's apartment was being recorded and he was seen with a girl, and typically playing around and being cute with this girl. From the video that a fan or stalker recorded, it appeared to be Jungkook because it was someone with similar hair, and it appeared like the person had a fully dark arm which would look like a tattoo. Then people were trying to do things like comparing items in the video to items that Jungkook has shown during his live stream to say that they match and that the person in the stalker video is Jungkook. However, this is strange and not an accurate way to measure whether this is a real Jungkook video or not. But after the entire internet blew up being convinced that this was Jungkook and Jungkook with a girl, many people, including myself, had to come out and ask people to stop showing footage of the apartment and pointing things out which would inevitably reveal a lot more about Jungkook's apartment layout, which is definitely a security risk because you know exactly which window is a bedroom, which is a bathroom, etc. It would probably make it much easier to get in an open window and get into his bedroom as he's taking a shower, or see him walk out of the living room and predict which room he is going into next. So it's very dangerous and very creepy. Well, something creepier did come from this and started to go viral now. A photo was posted on an alleged stalker's Instagram, shows a photo of what appears to be an apartment with its lights on, and the stalker claiming this is Jungkook's place. Of course, we don't see Jungkook in the photo, and it's really hard to determine if this is him or not because most of us don't know what floor he's on or whatever. It comes at a time where Jungkook mentioned during a live stream that everyone knows where he lives, so it makes these sasaengs or stalker posts much more believable as fandom thinks they've located the person who has been harassing Jungkook. And that's sweet and all, but I also highly doubt it's one person that is harassing Jungkook. It has to be many. But anywho, not only do I believe this is not Jungkook's apartment, it also proves the point that the alleged guy in the video with the girl is definitely not Jungkook either, because we can see from this stalker image that all three floors look identical. If you do look through the window, the doors look like it's in the exact same place in each apartment, and even where the TV is placed. A lot of these luxury apartments also come fully furnished, so it's not unheard of for all the furniture to be placed in the same place. So it goes to show that the person we see in the viral video with the girl could just be another person in a luxury apartment or another person in the same building Jungkook is in that happens to have the exact same layout. Going back to that viral video with the girl, some people were even saying that the girl was pregnant. They were zooming in on what they thought was a pregnant belly from the blurry video. So it initially had like 5 pixels, the video. When you zoom in, it now has 2, and then these 2 pixels are being used to judge if someone has a baby bump. That's too much, and it's giving ridiculous and reaching so hard. Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out Patreon for more videos, link down below. Thanks, just leave a comment right here. Love you, bye.